Is up, everybody? Back again with another video. Everybody probably already knows this by now, but Screw Attack came out with a death battle between the Hulk and Doomsday a while ago, and it's some things about it that people have been annoying me about it when it comes to the death battle's information about the Hulk and his healing factor and his limitations. Now, I'm not saying that the Hulk should kill him. I'm not saying vice versa. I'm not saying the verdict is wrong or anything, but there are a few things that have changed since then that I would like to clear up, and a few debunks that I would like to jump in as well. That being said, I am not salty about the winner or loser of the death battle, nor am I trying to change your view about who should have won or not, but there have been some things that have changed since then, and some new information about the Hulk that we have gotten since then to help some theories out. Without wasting any more time, let me get into the points that I didn't agree with death battle.
When a huge impact forced the Hulk to turn back into Bruce Banner, including that battle between Worldbreaker Hulk and Sentry. With his healing power beaten down, he literally couldn't keep himself angry enough to stay in Hulk mode.
Pretty much me and the entire community agree that this part is a little weird, and I don't know where they got this from, because everybody knows that does research on the Hulk and Sentry is that Sentry has a calming hex and always has had a calming hex against the Hulk, and specifically just made for Sentry, not just anybody, which is why it's heavily implied why he was able to turn him back to normal. Not from overloading his healing factor with blunt force and wearing his healing factor speed down. I add that the Hulk wasn't even down and out and seemed out of the fight. It almost looked like he was ready to turn back and fight some more, meaning that he can instantly turn back, and we've seen it happen in this comic also. He turned right back after this. I also don't understand how blunt forced punches could overload his healing factor, no matter how strong they are, ever since the fact he's already been severely harmed with way more devastating blows, aka blows that actually penetrated his body and caused internal injury, and was able to regenerate from those things just fine. But yet they're saying that blunt forced attacks can overload his healing factor if they're strong enough. It just doesn't add up when you consider we've seen his skin being torn off, we've seen energy blasts go through his chest, we've even seen him stabbed in the head where the blades actually go all the way through his head, and he was still able to recover from that almost instantaneously. So I don't understand how some attacks outside of his flesh can overload his healing factor when he has had internal healing factor injuries, and that didn't stop him from healing instantly in the past. So that part just doesn't add up as well.
Hulk's strength was infinite, his healing factor was not. Don't get me wrong, it can only be overtaxed by hits from absurdly powerful beings such as Zeus or Sentry, whom Doomsday certainly compares, whom Doomsday certainly compares, whom Doomsday certainly compares, whom Doomsday certainly compares.
Is it just me, or did Screw Attack just compare Doomsday to Marvel Zeus, a Skyfather level being? Seems to me they don't understand how these tiers in Marvel or DC works and the different power levels that these characters represent. First of all, in their video explanation, they never made it seem like both of these characters were past planet level in their explanations. So by their logic, I don't understand how they could just automatically assume Doomsday compares to somebody like Sentry or even freaking Zeus. I'm not going to try to start no Sentry versus Doomsday debate in this video, but based on their video explanation, they make it seem like nobody in this video is past planet level, and their best levels of power is attack planet level. So wait a minute. Doomsday is consistently confirmed to have the power of 1 million exploding suns, not just one sun, 1 million exploding suns, and the Hulk was able to trade blows with him and match his power. So shouldn't by that alone put him above Doomsday? But I'm not going to get into that. I'm not going to say that. Whatever. I'm just going to brush that aside. But evidently they don't know how the power levels work in Marvel if they're trying to compare Doomsday to a Skyfather just because he fought Sentry. For the heck of it, I don't even know if I can compare Sentry to freaking Zeus. That's ridiculous, because Zeus, let's just say, for example, if Sentry was able to overtax the Hulk's healing factor, which is impossible, but let's just say if he can. Just because he can doesn't mean Doomsday can based on scaling, because if we look at scaling, Sentry has better feats of raw power based on the analysis video about Doomsday's raw power that they ever showed in the video to begin with. So based on that logic, he wouldn't be able to do it anyway. But let's get to Zeus. Zeus is a Skyfather level being in Marvel, comparable to other Skyfathers in Marvel like Odin, who is able to level galaxies in a fist fight with other Skyfathers or whatever. So Screw Attack is basically saying that just because Zeus was able to overload the Hulk's healing factor supposedly Doomsday should be able to do it. First of all, Zeus is on a completely different level than Marvel heroes in general, just like the Marvel Skyfathers like Odin. They are considered event level people and are not meant to be compared to heroes, and they hardly ever show up in stories with heroes for that same reason. They're just out of their league and out of their class. They just have no reason to be involved. They're just too freaking powerful. But let's just say if Zeus did overload his healing factor, just because Zeus can doesn't mean he can. Zeus is on a completely different level. Second of all, I don't think Zeus overloaded his healing factor. Personally, I have a theory on this, but it's not confirmed, so just take this with a grain of salt. But Zeus is a Skyfather level being with a whole bunch of different powers, one of them being reality warping. You know, certain levels of reality warping and hacks can't affect the Hulk. So my theory is that the Hulk probably got his healing factor slowed down by Zeus's reality warping ability, which is why he wasn't able to heal correctly. But who really knows? They never really went in depth in the comic about this, but it's the only way, that's the only thing I see happening, because we've seen the Hulk heal from worse injuries than this before. I mean, Zeus did punch him really hard, but he didn't punch him so hard to the point he caused like him to get punched in half, or he didn't punch a hole in him or anything. We've seen the Hulk get like holes in him before and heal instantly. So Zeus punched him hard, yes, but he didn't punch him to the point where it caused like him to like bust open or anything to that point. So I didn't feel like his injuries should be that severe to the point he couldn't heal. So meaning that's why it's heavily implied. I think that he probably had some reality warping involved with his healing factor slowed down in this particular comic. Wrap things up, the examples that Screw Attack use of reasoning on why the Hulk's healing factor can be overtaxed is a bit far-fetched to me, considering that the Century has a specific hacks against the Hulk to calm him down, his light abilities and things of that sort, but cannot be scaled to other characters because that's a Century exclusive ability. Even if the Hulk's healing factor was to somehow be overtaxed, in my opinion, it cannot. But just to say if it can, just because characters like Zeus or Odin or some people like that can do it, does not scale to characters like Doomsday, because there's truly a large gap in power between the two when it comes to raw power and then when it comes to versatility, such as hacks and reality warping abilities. Meaning that just because a character can do it does not mean it scales to characters like Doomsday, who have been shown to be Superman level, Thor level, and Hulk level when it comes to feats and consistency throughout their comic book careers. With all that being said, post your comments down below. Let me know what you all think. Do y'all agree with what I said? If you don't agree, comment as well. What do you like my points? Do you think my points were accurate? Do you think I'm just throwing stuff out there because I'm a Hulk hater? Whatever you think. Do you think whatever? Post your comments down below. Let me know what you all think, and I'll see you guys next time.